Doing today?
Great.
Great. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about annotation, and I'm going to write it big on the board because it's really important. Annotation. Okay. So annotation is a way that you can read something and understand it better. So who here has read something that was really confusing or something that you didn't get the first time you read it? Okay, me too. So annotation is a method for taking those texts that you don't understand as well and changing them into something that you do understand, or at least something that you can talk about with a teacher or a peer. So today we're going to use an example, and we're going to use the poem by Walt Whitman, Beginning My Studies. And I picked this because you guys are beginning your studies, and I thought that it would be relevant. So the first step to annotation is, of course, to read it. But this is just a pass-through read. This is a just get the gist of it. Read for familiarity. So because you're in class, I'm going to read it to you. So close your eyes, sit back, relax, whatever, and just listen. Beginning my studies, the first step pleased me so much. The mere fact, consciousness, these forms, the power of motion, the least insect or animal, the senses, eyesight, love. The first step, I say, awed me and pleased me so much, I've hardly gone, and hardly wish to go any farther, but to stop and loiter all the time, to sing it in ecstatic songs. Okay, so first read. Now what we want to do again is we want to move on to step 2, and we want to read it for understanding this time. So now is when you're going to take out your pencils, and you're going to look at it on your paper, and we're going to use some techniques of annotation to help you guys understand it better, because this can be a little confusing. So I want you guys to underline words or images that you think are really interesting or really cool. I want you to put a question mark at points where you don't really understand what's going on, or you want to ask a question in the class about it. I want you to put an exclamation point in sections that you find are really important, or things that really are relevant to like the broader theme of the poem. And then I want you guys to circle words that you don't understand the meaning of. Okay, so take a little time to do that right now. Okay, great. So now that you've done that, anyone want to talk about something that they circled? Are there any words that you guys don't understand? Yes, Sienna?
What does loiter mean?
That is a great question. Loiter means to hang around a place without really doing anything particularly constructive. So a lot of times you'll see no loitering signs outside of restaurants, and that's because they just don't want people like hanging out outside of their entrance. Does that make it clear for you? Great. Okay, so now we're going to move on to step 3, and step 3 is writing a discussion question or a discussion topic that you want to bring up with the whole class. So take some time to do that now. Okay. Does anyone want to share with the class what their question was? Yes, Christiana?
So what do insects and animals have to do with studying?
That's a really good question. Does anyone have any insight into that? Yeah, Eli?
Maybe because insects try really hard to do one little task, kind of like what we do in school.
That's a great insight. Does that make it any clearer for you?
Yeah.
Great. So this is just an example of how you can annotate to understand a text better. And this is more of a framework, which is why I said step 2, rather than a rule book, because annotation is really about what makes it work for you. So if you don't like circling words, if you don't like question marks for some reason, you can use whatever you need. You can put a smiley face or brackets or quotes. It's just all about reading so you can understand it better and become a better student for it.
1. You gotta read the text, read it for the gist of it, and then see what's next. 2. Read it again, you'll have to write in the margins. 3. Discussion time, create a question that you find interesting. And if you do these steps, you'll be understanding more annotating rules, I count 'em.